And he has to be in the Bafana squad for the 2026 World Cup.
I think so. I think Paris did fine. Chiefs were poor.
They seem to be working out the plan as they went, rather than Pirates who got there with the plan.
Yeah.
2-1 Sunday, and the Buccaneers hammer Amakosi in the Soweto derby. This is Black and White Boots. My brother.
Yeah, man.
2-1 Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like Donald Trump asked them to, everyone must get a 2-1 home win or something.
Hey, bro. Whatever that man says goes these days.
You have to listen. You just
have to listen.
Okay.
Yeah, or else we'll see smoke.
Speaking of seeing smoke.
Yeah.
I don't want to start with Premier League. Obviously, the biggest game in African club football, minus the context of major tournaments and finals, etc.
Yeah.
The Soweto derby.
Yeah, the Soweto derby, hey?
How was FNB Stadium?
First and foremost, it was annoying to get to FNB Stadium. You know, I think it took me about 3 hours just to get to my seat. And I don't think there's proper coordination in that game, to be quite honest with you. I tried to look for park and ride. I couldn't see anything of that nature. And for a game of that magnitude, I think we have to have those measures in place. You go try and drive there. It's so difficult. There's Uber dropping off people, and there's no designated drive for Uber drivers to go in and out quick. So there's a whole of logistical nightmares that I experienced that I feel like if they can address those, it's going to be a nice experience, because a lot of people were complaining about getting into the stadium, and also the ticketing system was a bit of a nightmare.
How many people was it? 78,000 people or something?
I think just over 80,000, I think.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. A game of that magnitude, you have to put all stops, unfortunately. It was not enjoyable on my end, because I got to my seat. I think the game was 20 minutes in. Yeah. You know. But
they did kick off on time this time. We've seen in derbies in the past where they have to kick off late because people took too long to get into the stadium. So
I think they checked the turnstiles. So the turnstile did not have a lot of people. However, there was still a lot of people stuck on the traffic to get to the turnstiles.
Right.
So I think that's what made the difference.
Build a train station there. Come on.
Bro, there is a train. I don't know where it stops. But also, Marco, why don't you have park and ride?
Park and ride.
I think that system works.
Park at a station, take the train.
Yes.
Park in a station, park
they
at
have buses collecting people.
Coming. Yeah.
Like they have their own lane, it's not disturbed, there's a good rotation. It works. Why can't they implement the very same thing for the derby? I don't know, but hey, maybe it costs a lot of money. I don't know. We're not privy to that information.
Well,
but
I was in Soweto on Saturday and it was pumping.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't at the derby, but I was in Soweto on Saturday. I watched the game there. It was pumping.
Wow,
and it was busy.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
like the whole of Soweto was pumping. Okay,
remember what we were talking about the other time on the show, that when it's a Soweto derby, get to Soweto, that you will see the real vibe of the Soweto derby. Even other parts of the of South Africa, but Soweto particularly, it gets crazy when it's a derby. But yeah, it was good to be at the stadium, you know, and yeah, I didn't enjoy the game much. I don't know about you.
Yeah, let's talk football. Yeah.
I'm happy with the win, but I don't think Pirates were. I don't think they were that brilliant in my view. You know, I don't know if Chiefs were just too bad.
I have two overall things to say, and it's very broad and it's not very like specific and tactical and things like that. I have two overall things to say. One, Pirates seemed calm. Like the calmer of the two teams, which I think was good, because I said they looked nervous in the last few fixtures. They looked edgy, they looked nervous, they looked calm in the derby, and they looked up for it. Then the other thing is they looked like they had a plan, like they had a strategy. I think Chiefs coming off the back of the loss to Stellies during the week and then the pressure of the fixture, etc., and having some tactical changes because there were some disciplinary issues and
some players were not even on the bench of like Aziz
exactly right. And I think it was a change of system, and there was like, what do we do? And I don't think the coaches had a good plan. To be fair to them, like I said, there's players missing. It's a big day. It's a big game. So I don't want to criticize the coaches too much, but they seem to be working out the plan as they went, rather than Pirates who got there with a plan.
Yeah.
So I think those are the two broad things I'd like to say about.
And the injury to the goalkeeper didn't make it any easy. You know, he's been very brilliant for Kaizer Chiefs as well. And then you bring in Vuma, who haven't been playing in a game of this magnitude.
His last fixture was in a derby, wasn't it?
I can't remember actually.
It's over a year ago in a derby. That's his last fixture for Kaizer Chiefs. So I don't know if I want to criticize him too much for the opening goal. I think I do. I know it's a deflected goal, etc. But the other should be doing a bit better. But the other two,
especially the header from Mahopa, I think his defense let him down.
Agreed.
You know,
agreed. For Mahopa to find that space,
he had.
But I want to get to that goal in. Let's actually speak about it now.
Yeah.
Evidence Mahopa does the simple things so well, and he has to be in the Bafana squad for the 2026 World Cup.
I think so, man. That guy, he's just got this thing of, you know, he got into the game, and for me, this is why I prefer him over the youngster Yanela Mbutuma, because what he gives you is totally different from what the youngster gives you. Yes, the youngster is building up, he's eventually going to get to that level, but what Mahopa gives you is different, man. He drags defenders, all those flick-ons, you know, that he does, and he always finds space, you know, in the final third. I think he's a great player. He's not so lethal in terms of goals, but flipping hell, if you wanna get a striker that's gonna disrupt the defense, I think Mahopa is the guy.
I think he's not the most skillful player you'll see in a Pirate shirt. Whether you call it ball skill, finishing skill, passing skill, any of those things, I don't think he's the most naturally gifted footballer on the pitch in a Bafana squad, a Pirate squad, in a PSL squad. But he's an intelligent footballer. He knows how to read the game. He knows how to move. And he does the simple things very
good.
Well. Very well. And I think that makes him super effective.
No, that guy is effective. I mean, when he came on, you could just see there was
just improve that finishing, because like we've seen over the past few weeks, he's been in many positions where he should be finishing, burying a game. And Pirates were punished a couple times for that. And he needs just, like, I don't know what they need to do with him, if they need to spend more time on the training pitch and just like getting more confidence and just improve those finishing skills. But other than that, I think he's a
complete player for me. Yes, he's not the most skillful, but geez, he does the basics so right. And I think that's what set him apart from a lot of players who can't even do the basics right, you know. And I'm going to digress a bit, you know, while we're talking about Mahopa. You know, he was not available for the previous two fixtures that we lost. So it's Mbata. And you take it back to the beginning of the season where Pirates lost, I think it was to Suwelele and to Sikukune, where those
two players.
They were not
Mbata
there.
And Mahopa.
Yeah, I think Mahopa, I can't remember, but I think he was not there in one of the two or both of them. Yeah, I stand to be corrected though. And it just goes to show you the impact that those players has. And I remember I said last week that the new Coach Wadu's over-reliance on his new signings, I think sometimes it's to his detriment, you know, because you can see with Mbata in that fixture, it was just it was an overall in the midfield. I'm not saying Masindi is not good, but I feel like Mbata plays better with Makaula. And what do you do as a coach? You know, I mean, but what I like about Coach Wad is that he listens. You know, if he sees that the fans are complaining, usually he makes those changes. But I don't know if it's true that they were injured, because I believe they were injured. If that is true, then it was unfortunate for us for the past 2 games. But if not, I really hope going forward he really utilizes these players. You know,
I think really Mofokeng is a creative spark. And I think he's a young player and he shows that sometimes. But I think Mbata's the real creative spark in that Pirates team in terms of keeping the play ticking over and making things happen, making the space open up. I think he's so important to how the team works and how it operates. And Evidence Mahopa, he connects the play really well as well. You know, he's there to... I think he's more effective in games when you need to take pressure off and sort of get the ball up to him, let him hold up play, and then bring the other players up the pitch, etc., just to relieve some pressure. But I think there's a couple things. And one of the things that stood out for me big time in the derby is, first of all, not his natural position, but he's making it his own. Dion Hotto, left back.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think by now we should calling him a left back.
He's a left back now, right?
He's a left back now. I think he's fully converted. Yes, some games they'll push him forward, but I can barely remember when last did Hotto play start as a winger. You know.
And I think he's been so effective at left back. And for me, the standout player on Saturday was Sibele.
Yeah, no.
I think of Pirates, the 8 seasons in a row they've won the title. Look at the fullbacks they've had.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Sundowns?
Sundowns.
Yeah. They've got quality fullbacks, yeah.
Thank you for the correction. Yes, Sundowns with
Mudau has been there for a while. And they had your Langamans. Yeah, they've got they've got quality. They had quality.
Yeah, so I think left backs, you have top quality fullbacks that are going to provide for you going forward and help you be defensively solid.
Yeah, fullbacks are like,
it's a key position.
In the modern football, yeah, fullbacks are like proper, like it's a key position, like you say.
And I think those are the things that I picked out from the fixture that really stood out is that.
And for Hotto's age, to still be running in that tempo, yo, bro, I commend that guy. He is a strong man.
Yeah. As long as you keep your conditioning up, etc. And FNB Stadium is a big pitch.
Yeah, no, it's a massive pitch.
To get up and down that pitch the whole game.
No, his quality,
in the
bro.
sunshine and the rain.
He was making that left-hand side tick, and
yeah, absolutely.
Also, let's not forget Apolis, I think he also had a good game compared to the previous 2 games where I think he battled a lot. I think he had an improved performance on Saturday.
Was it a case of Pirates did well, Pirates were the better team, etc., or was it a case of Pirates did fine, Chiefs were poor?
I think Pirates did fine. Chiefs were poor. I mean, the energy levels with Kaizer Chiefs players was not really there, It felt like something is missing with Kaizer Chiefs players. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I didn't get the vibe that you will always get when it's like a derby, a derby is always a game where one team dominates 10 minutes, the other takes the other 10 minutes, and it goes on and on and on like that. But at no point, yes, I go to the stadium very late, but at no point when I was watching that game, it felt like Chiefs managed to got hold of the derby for a few minutes.
10 minutes, second half maybe.
Perhaps.
But you were 3-0 down already.
Is it enough? I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
But I think Pirates were just fine. And
you lost the derby 3-0. You finished the game with 1 yellow card. Get stuck in.
Yeah, no.
I know it's not that.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal. But
I'm not saying that.
Are you imposing yourself?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying go get booked, get yourself sent off. But I'm also saying go get booked.
Yeah, press high. Make those tackles.
For a tackle. Be mean.
Yeah.
Get into a bit of a fight.
Just show a fight. Yeah.
Show a little bit of something for the fans.
Yeah.
That you want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going for a hard tackle, it was just dull.
Yeah, it was dull. And I think a lot of people did feel that I was sitting next to one of Kaizer Chiefs legend, and he was saying that he didn't feel like the boys, without mentioning his name, he didn't feel like the boys really, really represented the badge, It's also because it felt like, they went into that game. I don't know. But I don't know if what I was saying in the previous episode has something to do with it. Remember when I was talking about having that midweek fixture going to the derby as well? It's crazy. When that derby comes, you just lost, What
Not
sort
good.
of mental state are you in?
There's a meme on the Bundesliga page today.
Okay.
Where I assume it's Bundesliga South Africa.
Okay.
And you've got these 2 Germans, one wearing a Chiefs kit, one in a Pirates kit. And it says there, it's talking about Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Because that fixture was also this weekend, which is the blockbuster fixture in Bundesliga football, was around the same time as and they're saying that Orlando Pirates can be the only team like Bayern Munich to make an away game feel like a home game. And I thought to myself, whoever posted this doesn't understand that a Soweto derby is not a home and away game because that same stadium is going to host the home fixture for Pirates.
Yeah.
ChatGPT wrote that joke.
Is it?
It had to be.
Yeah, I think so too.
ChatGPT wrote it. It's like,
because it won't have the distinct.
Yeah, because ChatGPT looked at it and it was like, oh, it was an away game that Pirates won.
Yeah.
Yes, on paper.
On paper it was.
But there's no home and away in a Soweto derby.
And
it's at the same stadium.
The same stadium.
I know Orlando
fans
Amstel
sits
Arena.
How they want.
I think Pirates would love to have the next derby at the Orlando Amstel Arena. But there's more money at FNB.
Yeah. True.
Also, you sell out in 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's 80,000 people at FNB.
And also, it's not like...
It's the way to do it.
And also, our ticketing system is not similar to like, okay, Inter and AC play in the very same stadium. But if it's Inter at home, it does feel like it's at home because there's like small portion allocated to
Milan fans.
To Milan fans.
Portion allocated to Inter.
Larger portion.
Because they buy season tickets.
Yes. Yeah. It's first come, first serve.
Hey, Baba. 2 hours. Get your beds in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
There's no such thing. So I thought I'd share that with you.
And also, who's Bayern, who's Dortmund? Because there's no Bayern there.
Well, they were saying Bayern, Pirates brings fans to an away game like Bayern did. So it was, Dortmund was the home team and it felt like a Bayern game. Like the away fans and everything. So... Anyway,
in terms of football, none of those two can compare to Bayern because they're not winning the league.
Nobody can compare to Bayern.
They're not winning the league, those two.
Well, Pirates can win the league.
No, I'm saying like Bayern has been winning the league.
Yeah.
So Bayern in the South African context, it's Sundowns. You know what I mean?
True.
So.
But it's a huge result for Pirates.
The 3 goals made a difference because I think it keeps them first.
It keeps them first. They've played the same number of games as Sundowns and they're level on points and they're ahead on goal difference now. So the 3 goals, I think more than the goal difference, is the confidence booster that Pirates need to see off this season.
Yeah, and Sundowns went on to respond on Sunday with a proper win against Sekhukhune.
Yes. Against the next of the best of the rest.
Yeah.
Sekhukhune United was
just
still
like
sitting in third. They've played 19 games.
You stay down there.
Yeah.
Up Yates for me and Pirates.
Yeah. You guys, don't worry about it.
And well done to Saleng. Actually made his debut on Sunday. And then a few minutes into the game, he created an assist.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm happy for the guy. I think, his tenure at Pirates didn't end well. And I think, from a football fan perspective, you want to see such talent, progressing, doing well. For selfish reasons, I wish he had returned to Orlando Pirates. But he's a quality player and I was happy to see him back in the pitch. And hopefully he's going to have a great finish and he can stand a chance to be picked for the World Cup. There's still, I think, few games where he can raise his hands,
There's a Bafana squad being picked at the end of March.
For this window, the coming window.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think this coming window will make the cut. But I think he will just have to work hard and hope that come end of the season, he has got some few minutes under his belt with Mamelodi Sundowns because they still have to play. I don't know if he's registered for Champions League, which I pretty much doubt.
I doubt.
But he's most probably going to utilize him a lot in the league.
While focusing on Champions League.
While focusing on Champions League, yeah.
Back to PSL Betway Premiership football this evening. Richards Bay against Kaizer Chiefs. Can they bounce right back in Richards Bay?
Look, I think they will go back to their 1-0s, and I don't know, it depends as well. Are the issues internally addressed? Because those players that are sort of not there with disciplinary issues, are those issues addressed? Do you have the full squad to pick from? All those things matter, and also how much of the other issues are impacting the entire squad. Something that you don't want towards the end of the season because you want to finish on a high. And Kaizer Chiefs were sitting in a very good position to, even if they don't finish first, they're still second to play for. That is Champions League sport. And I don't think, Kaizer Chiefs didn't go maybe into this season thinking they will challenge for the title. But if opportunity presents itself, Kaizer Chiefs is a massive institution. They should be wanting to grab those opportunities.
Absolutely. Another two teams playing this evening, Stellies and TS Galaxy. Stellies will be playing against Siwelele, who've just beaten TS Galaxy this weekend. And TS Galaxy have to play against lowly Orbit College at Mbombela Stadium in Nelspruit. The implication there is this is a top 8 battle. This is for qualification into the MTN8 next season. Finishing in the top 8 of the league is big for both these sides. Stellies have been there for the past few seasons, but it's important for them to get back there.
Where are they at the moment at the log? It would be interesting because
they're currently 9th. So they're just 2 points behind TS Galaxy in 8th place, but they do have the game in hand on TS Galaxy. And these teams, they kick off at the same time this evening at 7:30 tonight.
Wow.
So it feels like final day football almost, especially when the points are this close.
Yes.
And you're playing at the same time, is that you can't rely on results elsewhere. You have to go play so that next week you're in position for it. Of course, this weekend is Nedbank Cup action. But tomorrow night, Mamelodi Sundowns hosting Golden Arrows. And Orlando Pirates, off the back of their derby win, have to travel to Polokwane City.
Yeah, and I see they're playing at the old Pitamgawa Stadium, which is like so compacted, and I think that was deliberate by Polokwane City to get to play them in a stadium where it's compacted. I don't think Orlando Pirates would be comfortable in such a stadium.
Pirates have been playing their best football in hitting you quickly, long balls, cross the pitch, etc. If you shut that opportunity off, they can't get behind the back line as easily. So definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
A tactical decision to go as smaller pitches you can against Pirates.
To be interesting, but I think Orlando Pirates going from here, I think their tails are up, and it's a situation where the only fixture that I think will still be problematic for them. Many will disagree with me based on Saturday results, but I think the second derby in April might be problematic for Pirates. I think from now on, they just need to go and collect maximum points that are there for collection, because what are you playing for? You're only playing for the league. Put your best foot forward. I mean, this rotation thing, I don't think it's necessary now. You just need to, who is the best? Play your best and get the points and get over the line.
I mean, it's literally 12 games left.
Yeah.
Between now and the end of the season.
Yeah.
You're telling me that between now and the end of the season, 12 fixtures, you can't full focus on those 12 fixtures.
No. Then if you can't, then you don't deserve to win the league.
Then you don't deserve to win the league. Absolutely right. Okay, Nedbank Cup action coming up.
Yeah.
We are... It feels like we're further along.
Yeah, I know. And also, like everybody's so quiet about it as well.
None of the top 3 sides are there, which is... It's a good thing. There's Jaxa Spears in this next set of fixtures against TS Galaxy, who we were speaking about. That's the quarterfinals, which are taking place this weekend. Amazulu Kazrick Stars.
Yeah.
Skokone versus Milford. TS Galaxy against Jaxa Spears. And Golden Arrows against Durban.
Look, for me, Nedbank Cup is called the Cup of, I think they call it Cup of Dreams, I think the fact that there's some smaller teams that have made it that far, it's a good story to tell. And I think it fits into their whole promo and what they're trying to do for South African football. I think it's a good story. But yeah, in terms of mileage, when it comes to advertisement, I don't know how much the sponsorship are going to be happy,
Yeah.
But it's still a good story.
In terms of the teams that are highest placed that are still in the tournament is
Amazulu Arrows and
Durban City.
Yes.
Durban City are the highest placed.
Yeah.
And Amazulu. Then Golden Arrows and TS Galaxy are mid-table in the PSL. So that Durban City Golden Arrows game on Sunday is a big fixture. But you look at those teams, the quality that Skokone first of all have, that's a good side.
Yeah. Skokone is a good side, bro.
That's a good side. Amazulu is a good side. TS Galaxy, Golden Arrows, Durban City. those teams surely, especially looking at Amazulu's Kakune and TS Galaxy, those are the Betway Premiership sides. They should be thinking to themselves, right, we're going to finish mid-table or wherever in the league anyway.
There's an opportunity for Confederation Cup.
Yeah.
You win Nedbank. There's so much that comes with winning Nedbank.
Right?
Especially if you are a mid-table club. You win Nedbank, you get a shot at Confederation Cup. Who doesn't want that?
A mid-table club like Kaizer Chiefs.
Hey, man, Kaizer Chiefs are up there, man. Yeah,
but this was the case for Chiefs last season. Obviously, Chiefs are a whole different thing. But if you look in football terms, last season,
they were mid-table.
Kaizer Chiefs were a mid-table club, footballing terms.
This isn't a surprise lot of us.
This season, they're probably going to finish the league third.
Yeah, third or fourth.
Yeah. So they'll be hoping for third, specifically for their qualifications in Europe.
Yeah.
In Africa. And they have no trophies this season, but last season they won a Nedbank Cup. They were mid-table. They've come forward. They went through to the knockout stages of. They almost went through to the knockout stages of a Confederations Cup. It was like a last day thing. So, yeah, I think that other teams can look at it from footballing terms and understand that, look, we're not Kaizer Chiefs, but in footballing terms, we could have the sort of season Kaizer Chiefs have had this season if we go on and win the Nedbank Cup this season. So it's a big competition. It's the biggest domestic trophy on.
Why are you tipping to take it?
Surely Skukune.
Look, my issue with Skukune, and I saw them play. I watched a bit of that Sandan games. My issue with them is they play so well, but they lapse in concentration. They concede silly goals. They just allow so much space to the attacking players. The goal that they conceded, Allende had so much space. My issues with them is that they just lose concentration there and then they get punished. Even the first round with Mamelodi Sundowns, I think Sundowns scored 2 goals in like 5 minutes or something like that in the last maybe 85 to 90 minutes of the game. So I just hope they can concentrate because I think they're a good side and Coach Tinkler is doing a stellar job with them. But I'll be tipping Golden Arrows. I think Coach Mangoba might just take this one.
Adnan Beganovic, TS Galaxy coach, they knocked out, a highly changed Mamelodi Sundowns outfit.
Yeah.
Do they have a shot? I mean, they're on the back of 4 losses in a row.
For that specific reason, you want them to go all the way.
Right. You've knocked out
just
Sundowns.
like Kastrik.
Okay, Kastrik Stars.
They've got a mountain to climb with Amazulu.
Yeah.
Because Amazulu as well is not, this isn't another, are no pushovers. They've been playing well.
And it's a quarterfinal. This is where it really gets to the serious stage. And I don't think there's any more putting on a weaker side because you want to focus on things elsewhere.
Yeah, true.
Once you're at the quarterfinal stages, I think everyone's
and also for this team, there's no such thing as putting a weaker side. This is it. This is your shot.
This is your shot. There's no Sundowns, no Pirates, no Chiefs.
Yeah, this is your shot, and you're not gonna win the league. This is it.
Absolutely. Right. Champions League draws. Let's move on.
Yeah.
UEFA Champions League.
Give it to me. Who's who there in the zoo?
Okay, so after PSG knocked out Monaco in the playoffs, after a 5-4 aggregate win there.
This is the last 16, eh?
So now it's the round of 16.
Yeah. This is where they play first leg and second leg away and home.
Home and away, first leg, second leg, and then it goes to first leg, second leg, quarterfinals and semi-finals before a final.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I
think from here it's normal. It's how we know Champions League.
Exactly. PSG against Chelsea. Chelsea, who's going to show up?
No, the one that showed up against Arsenal.
But again, it was disappointing.
Yeah,
I think in a way.
But you did call it. Remember?
Side. Yeah.
That I don't think you. I think you mentioned something like you don't think they've got the zeal to.
Because they got good players, but look at the good players that they bought, like Garnacho, where it's like, where's that guy's head?
Yeah.
With the talent you've got, you should be there, running, pushing, doing everything you can, working hard, getting better. Garnacho seems like the same player he was 3 years ago.
And the discipline.
Not worse. The lack of discipline.
How many red cards this season?
That's also, it's their most red cards in a season. I think 9.
Sure, it's crazy.
That's too many.
Yeah, it's too many.
So PSG will face Chelsea. Galatasaray after beating Juventus. By the way, valiant fight back from Juventus. But unfortunately, in extra time, Juventus were down to 10 men. They ran their legs off.
That was a scotch of a fixture.
Juventus were down by 3 goals on aggregate.
Yeah.
And they came back and they won in the 90 minutes 3-0.
Sure.
So to take them to extra time. And then 10 men, they played a whole 45 minutes with 10 men, came back, went to extra time, absolutely buggered, and Galatasaray just finished it off in extra time.
You it's not easy.
And Galatasaray's reward for that is Liverpool. Liverpool have been good in Champions League so far.
No, they have been
That's
good.
not been the team that's been
and they've
struggling
got quality.
in the Premier League. They've got quality. They've also got more experience as a side in the Champions League. I know Galatasaray has a pretty good history in the Champions League. Nothing like Liverpool's. Liverpool have one of the best Champions League histories in modern football. Then Real Madrid against Manchester City, the obvious one that everyone's like, we know who we're playing.
Yeah, they said
we know we're playing City. I
think for how many years? Almost every season, eh?
It has to be on purpose.
I think for the past, I'll say maybe 5 seasons. Can't
be luck. I think
they've played 3 or 4 times.
I think they just draw it so that people watch the quarterfinals.
You reckon?
I think it's for the sponsor.
I don't want to think it like that because I'm gonna lose interest. I just hope it's
Listen, that's the big fixture in the round of 16.
Of course it is.
That's an incredible fixture. Real Madrid, Man City, and they're always exciting games. No matter
they
what
go
happens.
at each other.
Oh, they're so good to watch.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one. Atalanta turned around against a team that's been successful in the Champions League, Dortmund.
Yeah.
I still said I think it's done for
Atlanta. We thought it was sealed, yeah.
Atlanta showed us they turned it around at home with a 4-1 win against Dortmund. And they get Bayern Munich.
And it will be the end of the road.
It's the end of the road. You can do it against one German side.
Yeah,
but this is not the German side.
It's a different German, that one.
And the winner of that Atalanta Bayern Munich game will play against the winner of the Real Madrid Man City game. So I think that's going to be my pick of quarterfinals as well.
Yeah, no, just picture this: Company versus Pep. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one.
Just a small matter of Real Madrid in the way.
Oh yeah.
You have to get past Real Madrid first.
Yeah, which I don't think it's gonna be easy for Manchester City.
No.
Honestly,
neither City or Real Madrid are the best side.
I agree with you. So it could be it's there for the taking for either one of them.
With Mbappe and Vinny, etc., and co at Real Madrid, I think they're more capable of, even when you're playing badly, to go through.
Yeah, they've got... Look, and Real Madrid has, let's be honest, it's been a team that have relied on individual brilliance for all their successes, you know. It's not really a team that play on... How can I put it? It's a team of stars.
That's it.
You know, it's always gonna be like that. It's their model. So you're always gonna get one or two that raise their hand on the day and punish you.
We'll talk more about these fixtures individually next week. Newcastle against Barcelona. Newcastle get their rewards for doing well in the Champions League. Of course, English Premier League's not been as easy for them to...
They might not even make it next season. Eh?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be in Champions League next
I don't
season.
think so.
I don't think they will be.
But what does it say about Eddie Howe, though?
Look, injuries, that big disruption of your top player from last season.
Oh, Isak, yes.
Isak, now he refuses to play. A whole big drama of that. You lose out on your main target. Shesko is going to Newcastle. I'll go to Man United. You know,
I wonder why they got rid of Wilson. He was quite good.
Yeah, but I think it's they had other targets, and Ekitike is coming through the door. He ends up at Liverpool. So I think Newcastle have tried their best. I'm not going to criticize the club or Eddie Howe with how things have gone. It just so happens that they're trying to push themselves to be an elite club, and right now the other elite clubs who are established have taken all of the options off the table for them. So they just need time. Atletico Madrid, Tottenham Hotspur. Atleti's a strong side. Spurs
needs to focus on the league, or they're going to get relegated. I'm telling you.
But hey, you never know. It's still knockout football.
Imagine winning Champions League and you're relegated.
That'd be horrible. Bodo Glimt Sporting. How fortunate is that? I think those are the two of the weakest teams left in the tournament. Besides maybe Leverkusen. But you look at the rest of the names we've mentioned.
On the context of the past 2 seasons, I think Leverkusen are not really like the
That's
smallest.
What I'm saying. Yeah, it's like back when the previous manager was there, Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
Then I think they were a better side.
Yeah, they were.
Now they've struggled. They went through 10 hard.
You're right.
They went through this, whatever.
This season they're not really firing.
They get to play against Arsenal, who's going to punish them and go right through. Them. Yeah. And then Arsenal's going to beat either Bodo Glimt or Sporting in the next round, whoever wins that fixture. So I think we're going to see Arsenal against either Barcelona or Atletico Madrid in that semi-final, But
Arsenal's path looks a lot easier than...
Easiest path, all the way through.
Yeah, but also
that's the way through, because even
that's what you get for finishing first.
Even if they do play Atletico Madrid or Barcelona, I fancy them against those sides.
Yeah, I think we've seen what they can do to Real Madrid last season as well.
So, in saying that, we don't think they're going to have a problem with Leverkusen. We don't think they're going to have a problem with Bodo or Sporting. And then it's Atletico Madrid, Spurs, Barcelona, Newcastle. I think that they can go through against any of those sides. Barcelona, maybe. Atletico Madrid, maybe.
A bit of a challenge, yeah.
We look at that, and it looks like out of all the things, looking through this whole list of teams, the one team I'm most confident of going to the final is Arsenal. I think Arsenal will be in the final of the Champions League this season.
I think so too. I think this is their season. Arsenal are just like, they're firing.
Yeah, they're a good side, and it's not the craziest football to watch, but they score goals and they defend well. What else can you ask from a football team in terms of getting points and going through?
Yeah, you have to get those goals one way or the other.
So I see them being in the final. The problem with this line, as you're speaking about, is City have to play Real Madrid. Then even if they do beat Real Madrid, their next game is Bayern Munich. Arsenal have like a pretty easy path all the way through.
Yeah.
And even if they do beat Bayern Munich, their next game is probably against PSG or Liverpool.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's a tougher side to think.
I don't think City are going to go far this season.
Listen, whoever beats Bayern Munich plays against Arsenal in the final. Because if Real Madrid or Man City play Bayern Munich next and they beat Bayern, I don't see them losing to Liverpool or PSG. And then they'll play Arsenal in the final. What do you think? Bayern Arsenal final?
Barcelona, I don't think it's going to give us a really strong...
No, I think Arsenal are going through.
Yeah. I would like to, if it's Bayern...
That's what I'm saying. Bayern Munich against Arsenal in the final.
I think it's going to be a strong final.
Yeah. That should be a good game.
Yeah.
Champions League action kicks off again next week. 2-1 Sunday.
Hey,
let's kick off to our second home, Premier League.
How do you feel about your team, actually? Like, I want to understand from where you guys were and where you are right now. And I think we've touched a little bit on it, me and you, that as United looks a bit solid. There's courage, there's hunger now, and
they haven't looked their best in the last few games.
Yeah, but they're just efficient.
They get over the line. First of all, Man United didn't deserve to win Sunday's game. In the sense that I think they were the better side at the end of the first half, and they could have got a couple goals. And I think they were largely the better side in the second half against Crystal Palace, who have to play in European competition. Man United had 13 days off of not playing any football. So as the game progresses, they're going to get better as Crystal Palace gets tired.
Yeah.
And they have a deeper squad. They can make more subs, etc. And the squad is largely full in there. There's only a couple injuries here and there, a couple players missing, but they've got the core of this very expensive football team. We need to also remember that Man United have spent the most money of every team on their squad when you take it relative to players sold, etc. Whereas Chelsea have spent a lot of money, but they got a lot of money from selling players.
Yeah, they got money. Yeah, that dealing is crazy.
Yeah. So the biggest thing from this fixture on Sunday was that Man United didn't deserve a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know how VAR gave the penalty and a red card. Changed the whole game. A penalty and a red card.
That's a double punishment.
It's a double punishment. And it was incorrect. The player is being held outside of the box, falls into the box when there's no contact in the box. It's not a penalty. Could be a red card, not a penalty. But to give a penalty and a red card, then give Bruno Fernandes a chance from the penalty spot. We know what Bruno's like.
You know what we'll do.
We know what Bruno's like. And once again, a tremendous ball from Bruno into Šeško for him to score the winning header that wins the game 2-1. So as much as Man United are clearly improved under Michael Carrick and they're a better side, once again, Man United are getting results when they weren't necessarily the better side.
So are you saying
they're getting results and it's because of Bruno Fernandes?
Are you saying that that's not good enough in terms of long term? That when you get other teams, you might be punished? But
of course. But
we look at how many games have they won in the past 7 games, 8 games?
I think it's 9 wins out of 10. And a draw. 9 wins and a draw, something like that. Unbeaten in 10.
I think that gives...
Or 7 or 8 wins in it. Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that gives at least a picture of where Carrick is taking the team? I mean, I think 10 games, it gives you a picture.
There's no doubt about it. I think that it just shows that they're not perfect. You know,
and also you inherited everybody that is there.
I think right now, when you look at the football that's being played, I think the table is still representative of who the best teams are. I think Arsenal are still a better side than Man United. We can't get carried away and be like, this Man United right now in the form they're in are the best side.
Yeah.
They're probably not. I think Arsenal still overall are a better side. I think Man City overall are still a better side. But other than that, I think Man United right now, the form they're in, the quality of players they've got, they're a good side. A couple silly mistakes still here and there. And I think when teams figure them out, you know, it's hard. And my biggest issue with Man United is that they're so good if you're going to come at them. If you're going to come at Man United and they don't have possession of the ball, give them the ball for a second and they're going to cut you open and score on the counter-attack. But when they're playing against a team who's going to be compact, sit deep, control the ball, and be able to maintain possession when you push. So like Man United's press is improving. I think it's better than it was under Ruben Amorim, the high press. But Crystal Palace played around the press really well. I think, although I'm being critical of Man United and saying they weren't their best, it was mostly because Palace were very good against Man United at all.
They were a better side on the day.
They were the better side on the day for most of the day. Overall, I think it was a balanced game. It was probably deserving of a draw. But Man United got the win again because I think it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a red card. And Man United were lucky that it turned the game around as it does. A red card and a penalty turns around the game.
Like I always say, sometimes this decision goes for you and sometimes it's against you. And when they go for you, you grab what you get.
Absolutely. And what that means is Man United are third in the table ahead of Aston Villa on goal difference now. Can you believe it? Man United have scored 50 goals in the Premier League this season.
Well, they're not playing other competitions.
Yeah, it's true. But they're only 7 goals behind City and 8 goals behind Arsenal.
What? That's crazy.
That's a lot of goals for Manchester United.
Done well,
they've done well.
Yeah.
They've done well. And it shows you the money they've spent up front has been money well spent.
Yeah.
Because they struggled for goals for the past several years. They struggled for goals under Ten Hag. They struggled under Amorim for goals. And the money they spent on Mbeumo, Cunha, and Šeško is reaping the benefits now. And Bruno Fernandes, of course.
Yeah. With that said, you mentioned all those players that they were bought, your Cunhas, your Mbuemos. What do you make of what Michael Carrick said about Kobe Mainoo? That it's very important to sort of like, he was sort of saying that it's important to get players from development because they understand the culture. He knows it's Kobe, eh? Kobe. Yeah, Kobe Mainoo. He knows him when he was still like a 13-year-old and all of that.
When he was doing his coaching badges in the youth team, yeah.
You know, does that say that if he does get the job on a permanent basis, we are going to see Man United maybe bringing up a lot of youngsters from development? And would that be like, for modern day, I think it works, but it can't be everything, right?
I think that Man United have neglected that academy. I think that a lot of the managers who've come in, I think it's, you look at Marcus Rashford came through in the post-Fergie era. Who else do you look at in the academy that's come through the academy that's
some of that?
You know, it's like
so
Rashford.
The culture, it's
Rashford
diluted.
came through out of necessity. Yeah. If you remember, it was under the Dutch manager, Van Gaal.
Yeah.
where there were injuries to all of Man United strikers. I think it was Di Maria and Falcao and those players that were in the team at the time. And then Rashford came into the side just because there was no one available. And he scored in his debut in Europe, and then he scored against Arsenal in his debut after that. Other than him, Kobbie Mainoo is the only other player that's really come through the academy and taken a spot in that Man United thing. And it's very different to Man United's traditions. And I think Carrick understands the traditions of the club.
Would you say
that's a big part of the tradition of the club? Is that Man United have had an academy graduate in the match day squad, not starting 11. Man United have had an academy graduate in the match day squad for 100 years. In every match day squad, there's been an academy graduate for like 100 years. No other club can boast that. So it's an important part of the club. And I think it's important. And you look at some of the other quality like JJ Gabriel, who's in the youth team. He looks like he's going to be a star. And we've seen a little bit of Shea Lacey, who also looks like he's going to be a star. So hopefully Man United get a few of their academy graduates up to join the 11, but also they still need to go to the market and buy top number 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can't be 8, but I think he's got a very strong point based on United history, that you have to have players that are from within the ranks because they understand the culture and they'll be the drivers of the culture within the entire squad. And I think maybe he's seeing the gaps compared to his playing time and now I would like to think.
And what I will say about Kobbie Mainoo as well, as much he was a little bit sulky and stuff, you could tell he wanted to play. He never came out and said anything. His brother was the one who was loud, free Kobbie Mainoo, whatever, but that's his brother. There's no control over what his brother does.
Yeah.
But I like that Kobbie Mainoo wasn't like a Garnacho, where it was like, put on a Villa shirt, whatever. He was very respectful to the club the whole time, very quiet, very professional.
He doesn't understand the culture. If he came through the ranks and is a youngster like that,
Garnacho,
I think would have had some respect for the team.
To be honest, I think he was 14 or 15 when he came to Manchester United, Garnacho. Big money from Spain. Yeah. So Garnacho was technically an academy graduate as well.
Yeah, if he came at that age,
but I think Kobbie Mainoo was a Man United fan as a kid. Yeah, Garnacho should have known better. And I think that there's a lot of Man United fans who are happy to see him not doing well at Chelsea. But that's a boy who should have had a great career in the future. And I don't think it's going to happen for Garnacho because the mentality is not there.
Mentality is not there.
Moving on, Arsenal, 2-1, Chelsea. Chelsea red card. Victims of their own negligence, victims of themselves once again. I think Chelsea will be in the Champions League next season.
Yeah, with the 5th spot, I think they stand.
I think so.
Yeah, if it was just for with Liverpool
starts getting in
thumping West Ham like that, they're just making a statement that we are gunning for that top 4 definitely.
Absolutely. And then Liverpool, Aston Villa dropping points. I think Aston Villa seem to be in free fall. It looks like they're going to drop out of that top 5 and they might be better suited to another position in European football anyway. The Champions League might be a bit big.
Look, their coach is known to be very good in Europe.
And they're currently in the Europa League, aren't they? Anyway, so they're one of my favorites to go on and win the Europa League. So maybe that's their pathway to Champions League next season.
Champions League, yeah.
And a team who did qualify for the Champions League in that fashion nearly got relegated last season. Spurs, they might just get relegated. They lost 2-1 to Fulham.
It's not going well for them, eh?
And they're not looking good.
Yeah, and also playing the derbies, week in, week out.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help at all.
And then the confidence
unless you're Arsenal.
When you get to the next... Look, Arsenal are a good side,
Yeah.
And the next set of fixtures are midweek fixtures now, I believe. That's right. Starting tonight. Bournemouth, Brentford. 2 good sides. Bournemouth obviously doing better this season. Brentford still struggling after losing Thomas Frank a little bit. But they're a good side. Everton, Burnley. Everton have been playing well. They're amongst the goals again. They've been struggling to score most of the season, but Everton now amongst the goals, and Burnley shipping goals for free, but they'll score some goals as well.
Yeah.
That one has draw written all over it though.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Leeds and Sunderland, the 2 surprise promotion candidates that are on their way up.
And Leeds played well against Manchester City. Hey, they
Very
pushed them. They pushed them. City they were under pressure in the last even few minutes of the game.
And City without Haaland this coming week, it's tough. It's tough without Haaland, but they're going to keep pushing. City seem to know how to win a league season.
Look, there was a season where City won the league without a striker. Remember when Aguero left?
That's
Pep
right.
didn't sign a striker. So, when it comes to Pep, man, this guy just like to reinvent things here.
Yeah, you'll play with a false nine. He doesn't care.
He'll play with a false nine, He doesn't care.
Wolves at home against Liverpool. More drop points for Liverpool. Wolves still, they're getting draws, they're getting wins.
That's the thing with Wolves. They can just give you a draw.
Because Wolves are sitting bottom of the league. They drew against Arsenal, top of the league, and they drew against Man United in third place.
Yeah.
And they beat Aston Villa, who were in third place when they played them.
Yeah.
And now Liverpool have to go to Molineux.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy for Liverpool. Away. It's not going to be easy.
The odds are going to be with Liverpool in this fixture. But I think you could make some money on a draw or win for
Liverpool.
Wolves.
You would think I think draw or win for Liverpool.
Okay, but then the odds are going to be low because the favors Liverpool.
Yes.
I do think Liverpool will win that game, but Wolves might spread.
If you've got something to spare, put it on Wolves to win it, and you might just get yourself some money.
Yeah. Again, it looks like a draw tonight.
Yeah.
Looks like a draw tonight. Then tomorrow night, Chelsea, Aston Villa, big game for the context of Champions League football next season.
That's a big chance for Chelsea to climb up, eh?
Absolutely. And with Man City, with that difficult fixture coming up against Nottingham Forest.
Is City away?
City's at home.
Oh, yeah, they've played away to Leeds, yeah.
But Arsenal have a difficult fixture away to Brighton.
Brighton, for me, they haven't really been the Brighton that we got accustomed to in the few past.
Fabian and Hutzler, now they're starting to, I think it's the first time they won their last fixture. It's the first time they've played the same starting lineup 2 games in a row, I think. So I think that's big for them, is that they're able to 3 games in a row, you can play the same starting 11. That'll help.
Yeah.
That'll help a lot.
But let's see.
But
I don't think they're going to cause any upset. Maybe a draw, but I don't think so. I think Arsenal are just too good.
Nottingham Forest have to travel to City tomorrow night as well. I think Arsenal and City win both games.
Who's West Ham playing?
West Ham are playing Fulham.
It's a London derby.
It's a London derby. Fulham. West Ham have to go to Craven Cottage. It's again more drop points. If
Nuno put everything in that game, I think
and they
City
get a win.
Think City will do them a favor and they climb out of relegation.
Yeah, they're only 2 points behind Forest.
Yeah.
And if they win, they'll be on 28 points. They climb out of relegation and they're right on the tails of Spurs. And Spurs play against Crystal Palace, who played very well against Man United.
Spurs might just be dragged into that number 17 position.
They in a relegation fight. There's no 2 ways about it. Spurs are in a relegation fight. And then Manchester United travel to, is it St. James's Park still? Newcastle. These stadiums are changing names altogether.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it's still St. James. Where's the Sports Direct Arena?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's St. James, man. Yeah, that one I think
it's St. James's Park. But I think it was Sports Direct Arena for a little bit. Anyway, it's still St. James's Park.
It's quite an intimidating ground, that one, eh?
It's not an easy fixture for Man United tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So, Premier League hotting up. Of course, there's still 10 games left in the season for most teams. Yeah, 10 games for most teams, 9 games left for Arsenal, of course, because they play City in the Carabao Cup final.
I like what is happening now with City and Arsenal.
That pressure, just give us a run in.
Yeah, you could just see when Arsenal went on to play Chelsea that they're charged up. They won this, and that's what you want. I mean, it gives us as football fans that,
With that sort of logic, are you saying you want Man United to win every game between now and the end of the season and put pressure on those two as well?
No. No, United are okay where they are. I want this to be City and Arsenal thing.
That's probably going to be anyway.
But you think, as a United fan, are United the title contenders at this point in time?
No.
Okay.
No. If you look at the points difference, right? Currently, let's look at only the 8 points difference between Man City and Man United. In 10 games, City would have to lose 3. Lose 3. Let
Clean
alone
lose, not draws.
So, in the run into a season, Manchester City pushing for a title, 10 games. You're telling me they don't win 7 of the 10 games?
Nah, they would.
They were going to win 7
They
of the 10
most
games.
probably would.
So let's say they don't, right? They don't win the 7 of the 10 games. Do Man United win 10 out of 10? This guy hasn't cut his hair in 2 years to win 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Now they're going to win 10 out of 10?
No.
That would mean 12 wins in a row and unbeaten all year?
No. Okay.
That's
a bit of a stretch.
It's a stretch. And that's just City,
Mm.
let alone Arsenal, who are currently 13 points ahead of Man United. Okay, they've played a game more, so let's call it 10 points.
Yeah.
That means Arsenal, from their last 9 games, have to lose 4 games. Or from 9 games, if they don't win 7 or 6 of their last 9 games, Arsenal, surely they win 6 of 9. Surely they win 6 of 9.
Yeah, no, I don't
And
see.
even again, if they don't, say they win 5, and Man United now have to go and win 10 games in a row to be title contenders.
Yeah, no.
It's done. The Premier
Top
League,
4 it's the best you can get.
and to finish third is an achievement from where Man United have been.
Yeah, and
Especially when you see where they finished last season.
and where they were in the beginning of the season as well.
And where they were like just around Christmas time. Yes, they weren't too bad. But when you look at it and you say, listen, the finish to the season's been great.
Yeah.
You can build on this for next year in the Champions League. You've got that extra money. You can go and buy a top midfielder to replace Casemiro and maybe buy a new left back or something along those lines, something that the club needs. And I think that Man United will look at that positively. They're not in a title race.
No, they're not.
They're not in a title race. Neither are Aston Villa. This loss guaranteed them you're out of the title race now because now, again, they would have to win 10 games in a row. Arsenal, City, same thing. Also, Liverpool, I mean, we're saying Man United are out of the title race. Liverpool are 3 points worse off than Manchester United. And so are Chelsea. They're actually 6 points worse off than Manchester United. So that would mean Liverpool would have to go on and win every game between now and the end of the season. And then Arsenal would have to lose 5.
Yeah, no.
That's not happening.
It's a crazy thought.
It's a crazy thought. So the title is between Manchester City and Arsenal. That's the end of the story, in my opinion.
Okay. No.
Anyway, I'm Marco Martins.
I'm Mulalo Musuphi.
And this is Black and White Boots. Danko.
Danko means thank you.